Hey guys, welcome back to the Mining Stacker YouTube channel where we cover all things crypto from the perspective of a miner. So today's video, we're going to be talking about GPU mining. So I haven't really made too much content on GPU mining because to me it's been essentially dead. So it does seem to be waking up though, right? We are finally starting to see changes. It's been about, 2.5 months since the merge, and things are profitable. And actually, they've been profitable for a little while. It's been, give or take, I've been keeping an eye on it maybe about a month now, specifically with like Radiant and Caspa. Those two guys have been continually doing well. They're not crazy profitable, but you are not at a loss. So depends on how you look at it. A couple of cents a card a day is probably not the best, but it is profitable. Still is right now. A lot of development going on. So let's look at the overall picture. So the two big dogs were Flux and Erg, and we are finally starting to see a change, right? Especially with the hash rate. Finally, Flux is starting to head down a little bit. Had been fairly consistent for a good while. What is it till the end of October, so about November, and then we've been seeing this crazy drawdown finally in hash rate and difficulty, um, which is good, right? Because again, it's not profitable. All you guys do, I'm not even gonna get into that rant. You can watch my other video as far as what I think about that. Um, but yeah, Flux, same deal with Erg. We had that crazy spike, as you know, and it's just been, you can see it from here, it's just a consistent downtrend. And again, it's because it's not profitable. People are, switching over to things that are profitable now that we have these other options, and it's also some people selling, right? I still don't think we've seen actual capitulation yet with GPU miners. Still haven't seen a ton of like sales on eBay or anything like that, or like huge price drops. So I think the majority of miners are still holding on. And I think until we see that big sell off, we'll see a difference here. We're going to see the hash rate drop. Whether or not that even happens, though, we don't know. Again, that's what I'm banking on. That's what I'm looking at. Um, but it may never even happen, right? We may get this resurgence with mining right now. So again, the two big dogs have been going down. My personal opinion, I think what it primarily is though, is that they've been shifting over to these guys, to Kaspa and Radiant. So this is from MinerStat. We can see the difficulty. We'll go back about a month. On October 27th, it was at 38.6K, currently at 103K. So just in that 1 month, it's been about a 2.5x in difficulty, or raise in difficulty. Pretty significant, right? A lot of people jumping over. It's been profitable almost the whole time only because of that price appreciation. Their chart has been ridiculous. Like it's gone up so much this past month, which is crazy considering everything that's been happening with crypto. It's literally, these two guys are some of the only projects that have actually been going up consistently. I mean, we'll look at Caspa's chart real quick. Look at this. In the 30 days, 400%. Considering everything that's been going on, everything's been taking, this is an insane chart. And that should really tell you something. Okay? That should really be a sign like, hey, I should probably keep my eye on this. Um, but yeah, it's insane. That is a beautiful chart. Whether or not they'll be able to maintain it, we'll see. They've gone up. The market cap has gone up significantly. It's actually now on CoinGecko 185. So it is now in the top 200. Pretty, pretty ridiculous. Pretty crazy. Pretty cool, actually. To see something come up so quickly, especially right now. So yeah, so the difficulty's gone up that much. We'll look at Radiant. Theirs has been going up recently. Same thing because of the price appreciation, right? So we'll go back a month here as well. It was under 1,000. It's currently at 2.5, right? So again, about the same thing, about a 2.5x increase in difficulty. Um, so the question now is it worth it to mine? Looking at the prices, not so much. So we're gonna reference hashrate.no. Again, this is my opinion. Putting that out there. This is not financial advice. This is just purely my opinion and what I think of it and what I'm doing, right? So we're putting in this calculator, I'm putting in that there's 10 3060 Ti's, and give or take your yield with 10 cards per day, it's going to be out, or not yield, your profit, I should say, be about 70 cents. Which doesn't sound very good, but this is the one thing to keep in mind. If you think the prices continue to increase, and if you are going to be buying this coin anyway, if it's one you're DCAing into, essentially, if it's profitable, you can think of it almost as getting it like on a discount. So with this specific example, with these specific numbers, again, these aren't exact. There's been a lot of updates with the miners, so typically you're going to get a better hash rate, better wattage, etc., etc., but we'll just use these numbers as reference. So currently, you would yield about 230 Caspa. Again, this is for 10 3060 Ti's, for give or take about $1.50 in electricity. So you have to look at it as a way to accrue more coins at a discount versus looking at what the USD profit is. So it benefits you if it's in that sense, because essentially you're able to get this coin, these amount of coins per day at a discount. So if you take that $1.50 that it's costing you electricity, you're essentially paying the 0.0065 per Caspa because of that. Again, this is really only going to benefit you if your hardware is paid off. It's just kind of sitting there. It's almost a way to get it at a discount, right? So you're going to be, this is what it's going to cost you because this is what the electricity is costing you. Okay, so this is going to be your net price per Caspa versus what it's currently at, 0.0091. So it's like getting it at a 30% discount. But again, this will only apply if you believe the price is going to either stay where it's at or it's going to continue to increase. The problem with that mindset as well, especially if you're going to hold it, is if the price goes down. If we have a price correction, which considering the way this chart's been going, we're due for a correction sometime, right? It may not happen now. We may go another 2x from here before it happens, but we will have a correction, and you have to see if it's going to be worth it to do it at that point. Because as soon as we do, let's say tomorrow we have a 20% correction, now you're going to be at a loss, right? So you're taking that risk if it dips down, okay? So like me personally, I'm not mining yet. It's not profitable enough. I think most likely we're going to have a correction sometime in the future, and then when that does happen, I'll buy a decent amount. Because again, yes, you're getting like that discount, you're getting, but you're only getting that 230 Caspa. That's nothing in the long term. You wanna be able to accrue bigger bags at this point. So for me, I think, me personally, again, this is my opinion, I'm just gonna DCA when that price dips. If it dips, may never even get another dip, right? And I'm comfortable with that because I bought a decent amount, bought a couple $100 back at that low, like mid October. So I'm okay if I can't get any more. I pulled profits. That money's just sitting there, kind of waiting to see if we get another dip, and I'll buy another amount. Um, but yeah, to me, it's still not profitable enough. We'll see what happens in the future, mainly just because of this chart. Like, I think we're definitely going to be due for a correction. Again, I could be completely wrong, and the next 2 months, it goes 10x from here. We don't know. But that's just my thought process, what I'm going by, and the way I'm looking at it. So again, it kind of depends on what you think. If you think this kind of rally is sustainable, then it would be worth it to mine, right? Because then at that point, you're not going to be at a loss, especially if you're holding it. But if you're going to be mining and just selling your daily yield, then yeah, you're at profit. Not something I want to do, not worth the headache, especially for that amount of yield, that amount of profit. It's not going to be worth it for me. So again, I'm waiting for a dip, and then I'll buy another little bag, and then we'll go from there. Um, so that's pretty much the status right now for GPU mining. Again, those are the main two I'm looking at, just mainly because they are projects that I do think will be here by the next bull run, and they're going to continue to appreciate, especially Caspa. Radiant, I'm not so hot in. Their community is good. The token seems fine. It's doing its thing. The community's there though because it's a mining community. That's the one thing that all these proof of stake, all these other coins lack, is just the community that mining brings, right? Especially people, mining the token eventually. When I think Radiant, their big thing is they want to get NFTs and such going. I'm sure if I'm mining and I have Radiant to blow, I'll buy some NFTs, I'll participate in the network. And that's what mining kind of brings to the table, especially for these newer startups, these like lower cap coins. This is an easy way for them to get the community involved. So for Radiant, I think they're gonna do well. I think they'll be here just because of their community. Caspa, though, I do believe for in the long term, not just as a mining thing or community thing or short term thing. I think the project is very, very good. Scalable proof of work to me is going to be next in the big bull run. This is why I'm so bullish on Caspa and Cadena, actually. I like the fact that they're bringing something different to the table, the fact that it's proof of work that's scalable, that can be fast with smart contracts eventually. Cadena already has them. They lack development, though. That's something that they're going to work on in the bull market. Caspa doesn't have smart contracts, but it's in the pipeline. Um, and we'll see. We'll see if they can deliver on their vision. But to me, tech wise, these are the two. As far as like other spec mining things, the only other one I really have my eye on is Ironfish, which I've mentioned in the past. I don't know if any of you guys saw my some of my older GPU videos. I have mentioned them only because again because of their tech. I'll make a video about them later, but they're one to look into. If you haven't looked into them, do your research. They're one that's promising. They just had a test net. Their phase just ended. It's gonna pick back up in January. I'll be mining that one. If this isn't profitable, I'll definitely be on there. But again, those are things to keep in mind. These are things you're gonna want to factor in if you're considering mining right now. Again, if you have really cheap power though, if you're like sub 8 cent kilowatt hour, then definitely something to look into. I'm more on the borderline. Mine's closer to like 11 cent a kilowatt hour now. So I'm borderline there. Again, I could mine and it is at a small profit. If I sell each day, it is profitable, but I'm not going to be stressing my video cards and all that for like 30 cents. Like, it's not worth it. And again, to me, I think we're going to have a pullback and I'll be able to buy these coins at a cheaper price. At least as far as these two, because again, the main three coins I'll be looking at, aside from the big dogs, Flux and Erg, I'm accumulating, but I'm buying those. They're nowhere near profitable, and I don't think they're going to be until we get that like capitulation with GPU miners, which if we base it off of like what's happening with Bitcoin, it's going to be like 6 months after it became unprofitable. So it became unprofitable mid-October. So what, November, December, January, February, March, April. So sometime in the spring maybe. We'll see. Maybe people will give up at that point, which we've already kind of been seeing it. Although some of the hash rate has been going over, I think some of this is people finally, giving up on it. People mining at a loss is only fun for so long, right? Especially with these cheap prices, with Flux being at 40 cents. Just had a nice pump today, actually, so I made a nice little profit there. But for those of you thinking of doing it, these are some things to consider, what you want to look at. So whether it's worth it or not to just buy or to mine it. Again, these are just my thoughts, my opinions. I'm waiting for that correction. It could be completely wrong, though. This thing can 3x and just continue going to the moon. We'll find out. But again, just something to keep in mind. I know a lot of people have been talking, oh, mining's profitable. Let's get on it. Let's get on it. Do your research. Look at the charts. Take things into consideration. It may be profitable right now, but again, if you're not selling every day, you really, really got to think about it. You really, really got to look at all the numbers and see what's going on. See if you're just going to be mining and selling that day, or if you're mining to accumulate, which is what I'm doing. Again, that's my personal thing. I'm trying to not sell anything. I'm trying to cover any electrical costs for anything I am mining. And yeah, so it's a nice little update on what's going on. Eventually, if things change a little bit more, I'll make a more in-depth, state of GPU mining video. But for now, just wanted to focus on these two guys who are profitable right now. So something to keep in mind. I know a lot of people are just yellowing in and just going in like, oh, okay, it's profitable, yep, but not really like breaking it down or looking at what it's going to be, depending on what your plans are, right? And also depends on the size of your farm, right? I'm only down to like I have them down to like 12 cards. I'm down to a fraction of what I had before, mainly because I've been selling, and there's a good chance I'm going to be selling more. Like, depending on what happens in the next few months, I may get rid of another good chunk of them. So, in order to pay for some of these ASICs, I've been slowly shifting into ASICs a bit more. But again, we'll see. A lot has changed just in these past 2 months. I'm sure a lot's going to change in the next 2 months. So we'll find out. All right, guys. Well, hopefully you got some value in this video. Give you something to think about if you're thinking about jumping back in. Let me know. Please comment, like, subscribe. Comment in the chat, guys, if you're going to start mining, if you're thinking of mining. If there's any other things you're looking at, if you're looking at like a lithium or any of these other ones. I know there's a few others that people are jumping on. But again, I mainly have my eyes on these. But if you're looking at anything else, anything I haven't mentioned, comment, like, subscribe. Let's help each other out. And thanks for watching, guys. And I'm out.